Alright, so I got a bit of a treat for you guys today. I am playing a game called Sacrifice. I was playing this game back when I was like 11 or 12 years old. This came out in 2001. It is a third-person real-time strategy game where you control a single avatar, you get to summon creatures, cast spells, build structures, really cool. Um, I made this scenario, it took me about 5-6 hours. All the lighting effects, the preset templates for the trees and everything else like that, were really easy to insert. Um, this is a bit of a scenario where I'm trying to help a bunch of villagers out because they are currently under attack by one of the opposing gods. Now, the way the game works is you have 5 gods you can choose to worship, and they each have, unique spells and creatures, and, you can do a lot of really cool shit with them. We are currently working with the goddess of life named Persephone, and she is, mostly protection spells, support creatures, real tanky types that kind of draw battles, but it's fun to play with them. Let the units do most of the work. Now, while I'm talking about the units, you can organize them however you want to. They got like 7 or 8 different formations to choose from, a bunch of different orders you can give them, patterns you can have them do, and I mean the game is really really intricate when it comes to strategy. I mean, I love it. Uh, there's also 2 types of currency you have to worry about. You have souls and you have mana. Now, the lesser creatures, the little smaller ones, they only cost 1 soul. The bigger ones you'll come across cost 5. We are currently only level 6 in this particular scenario, so we're not even going to be able to see the top level creatures for Persephone, which is, I think, dragons, and she has a bunch of really weird spells that are, mostly charm and giant beanstalks that come out of the ground and murder people. It's kind of funny, actually. Um, so we're only going to see like the mid-level stuff for this particular scenario. But again, like all the markers, triggers, all the the cheesy script, I made all of this. Just something to kind of pass the time because I finally figured out how to open up the editor for this game after 15 years of not having it. Now for the fighting, pretty simple. Keep the range guys behind you. Keep the melee guys up in front. Um, this goddess also has healers that help you out. I mean, I can make it rain frogs and cast, wrath or make myself immortal. But for the most part, it's just, you know, letting the creatures do most of the work, right? Rainbow healing spell. Now, while I'm talking about the creatures, you'll notice the little guys behind me, the glowing heads. Those are called mana whores. Funny name, I know, right? They will transmit mana from the mana lists to me, so I don't have to stand right next to the mana list in order to regenerate. There is no unit cap. However many souls you can collect is how many you get to, utilize. And you'll see that the red ones I need to have taken back to my altar to be converted. Now it's kind of a boring process to watch me convert them, so I'm going to skip this part right here and kind of just skip ahead to when I'm done doing all. And that's the last of them. So, I remember I said you can, build buildings as well. This is one of the mana fountains I was referring to. Like I said, anyone that's standing next to this, any wizard, any creature can, utilize the mana here. And creatures do have special abilities too. Not all of them, but some of them. I said the goddess has a lot of protection spells, right? So most of her creatures have, either over shields or tracking or some kind of like ensnarement, CC type deal. Cheesy dialogue, cheesy dialogue. Gotta love it.
Over here?
I think I want to do a showcase of not like any more custom scenarios because this took way too long to make, but just a regular like 1v2 AI match or something because I don't think the online community is alive anymore. I'm pretty sure it's not. Um, but I was really good at this game at one point, so I can do, you know, a couple 2v1s, maybe a 3v1 computer if I'm really feeling antsy, or, you know, it's all depends on which god I'm using too. That helps out a lot. So, like I said, we're gonna help out this druid with his needs. Please save my people. Yeah, don't mind the graphics. I mean, for being 20 years old, I don't think it's gonna hold up too well, but it's always worth, you know, it's always worth trying. It'd be really cool if they remade this game. I like the gameplay itself. You know, it's an interesting concept. You know, the idea of controlling units and, you know, a single overpowered avatar. You know, if you have the right spells, you can counteract a whole horde of enemies, right? If you use a certain small group of enemies properly, you can overtake armies if you know, use the right formations and, you know, swap out who's up front for, you know, tanking, really good damage dealers and what have you. So I'm coming up on the second village right now. The big guy up front, he's one of the tankier units for Persephone. They're that's this version's game of an Ent. Not like the Lord of the Rings Ents where they're giant trees, but close enough, right? Got hit in the ass, man. I love the Ents too. They have an overshield that hits everybody around them. That's always nice. So again, I'm gonna, you know, kill them all, do some cleanup, take the souls back to my altar, let them, you know, be converted. Because you're gonna want all the souls you can get. Pretty much, like, you need to convert almost all the time to, you know, get the biggest army you can when you're doing custom scenarios. Because myself and other people who have seen me make custom scenarios like to just give the AI in a ridiculous amount of units. So you kind of have to even the odds a little bit. I tried not to make it too excessive for this, but I think I may have went overboard for the actual boss or enemy wizard. Now, when it comes to fighting wizards too, you know, they also have, you know, different spells. We're fighting the god of fire right now, and you know he's a lot of destructive spells. You know, fire shield. Um, his units do AOE burn damage. It's kind of hell actually. Really fun to play with though. You know, you get like the long range guys. You can just drop giant bombs on, you know, entire villages and just watch everything catch on fire.
Group 2.
Now where did I put that? What's that? Now where did I put that?
What up, Nomi?
Guard me.
Of course.
Yeah. Save your. We got you. We got you. So this is a fine little stretch to where the actual altar is that I have to go to pretty much sacrifice a creature at his altar, hence the name Sacrifice. And once you do that, the wizard will be dead. Until that point, the wizard can die as many times as it takes to, you know, revive as long as he has mana, and keep on coming back, you know, again and again and again. So you have to kill him off officially in order to banish him from this realm, right? And I forgot my secondary party. some melee guys up here. Range get too messed up. Those red beams drain mana and health, so you gotta watch out for that. Keep the mana horse in formation. Pull the range guys back. Melee reinforcements incoming. Protection spell. You know, basic shit, right? Make sure I keep the big boy alive, because I can't get any more in this particular playthrough. Should have gave myself a dragon for this scenario, but it'd be way too easy if I did that. At this point in the game, you're, at the home stretch trying to rush the altar, the enemy. It might be, a good idea sometimes to convert souls, but really just applying pressure so he can't rebuild his army at every manolith is really the key. Damn, I get fucked up. That's what happens when you don't have enough melee support at the beginning. It's also worth mentioning that if you get too far from manolith, your mana horrors will not generate as much mana, so you have to build as many manoliths as possible to keep one in close proximity.
Yes, if I must. If I must, I will go.
Push, push, push.
Try! What do you need of me? As you will it.
You'll notice this is their version of a phoenix, right? He is tethered to that enemy manolith. Now when you do that, it increases their health by a lot, increases their health regen by a lot, so you really gotta nuke the hell out of them, or else they can take down,
Yes.
hordes of enemies.
If I must.
I'm also not converting these souls, because even though that's worth 5 souls right there, in the testing I did, for some reason the doctors will take, the weird route and try to run past this altar down here, which will just free the phoenix that I just tried to convert and make him a problem again, so it's also worth leaving him dead. Yeah, trial and error. Like I said, I haven't made a map in over a decade.
Will be done. Yes. Move if I must. Attack. I will think.
almost there.
Yes, my lord. By the goddess.
This actually might be yeah, a good run. I didn't die this time. Oh, big guy died.
Now where did I put that? Doom reporting. Attack. Calculating the trajectory. Boss. Ranger here.
So here we are. Enemy altar.
On my way.
Now the only spot he can really spawn is an open mana fountain or his altar. Now the AI is pretty predictable, but in like a multiplayer scenario, I've been in this position before where
Yes,
I've had all my
my lord. Guard me.
mana list destroyed, but I found an open mana fountain, spawned out there, got faster mana regen, rebuilt from an outside spot as my altar was being desecrated, and came back. It's possible. I said a single wizard can do a lot of work, but yeah, we are victorious.
Ranger here.
Anyways, that was my a little custom scenario that I made. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to get more gameplay of this in the future. I really do miss this game. Until next time, it was fun.